Excellent. So usually I have this thing that says stream is starting. Apparently we didn't do that today. So let's just refresh this and make sure it actually works. Looks good to me. That's it. And yeah, shall we? Goes off a bit to the side. All right, we're good. Hello everybody, welcome to today's stream. Let's dive right into it. We got a lot of comments. We got a blast through today, so let's dive into it. If you're tuning into the stream, please place your comments here in the chat. I will get to them. All right, starting out. Link and F, please. Alright, Link is still a macro level neutral compression on the daily chart. That means sideways until we have a breakout. I know, super helpful. But seriously, that's the case. Alright, we have high potential energy and little implied direction. 4-hour chart. Again, it's the exact same scenario. If this breaks out to the upside, it will be able to run. We just really need to wait for the signal. Okay, Ethereum does have a 4-hour breakout, but it does appear to be stopped by the current compressionary condition 3.2. And the daily doesn't have that same compression reading, so a little bit riskier. Okay. Difference is you do have the existing signal actually active. I just want to check that it's actually still trending. It is. If you were to buy Ethereum, you would do so like right now. Have a stop loss of like 0.5%, and then you would just bet on trend continuation. So if you want to try ETH, go ahead. This is the pivot to do so. Of course, if the pivot breaks, we will trend down to the mean, which should be, the slide here, which is anywhere from 30.75 to 30.90. Okay, next up, SKL. Wow. 15-minute, if you want to buy that right now, do so. It is directly on the pivot. Christ. Even here on the 4-hour chart, we are respecting that pivot perfectly. If this wants to see trend continuation, it would have to bounce like right now, this very second. So this is not a bad chart simply because it's very make or break. Either we do see our trend continuation here or we break down to 1100. Nice chart, I like it. Bitcoin, longer time frames, BTC, USD. Start off with the daily chart. Okay, daily chart. We're actually starting to see a little bit of compression here on the daily, which is pretty interesting. And that is the result of us flagging for so long here. Weekly chart. We did have our massive breakout here in October, and we are still seeing that trend. Trend pivot is not really relevant on the weekly chart simply because this is a parabola, same case with the daily, as it does stretch all the way down to 33,000. 4-hour chart, however, you have heavy compressionary noise. Little implied direction. We did have a small breakout here, but it immediately mean reverted. 15-minute, we might be able to get a good... This here would have been a nice short, but I don't think we're going to see that value again. Yeah, 51860, and then just the swing low target of 57159. That looks okay. Alright, next up. Algo. It would be my pleasure. A lot of these coins seem to be breaking out here and sitting on the pivot. This one does... it's not bad. Because that value is in line with the support of the 1.25 of CLCP. Daily might have a little bit more of an issue here with this resistance at 2800. Okay. So on our we have the trend pivot, make a break right now, but it does appear to be breaking down to the 2266 value. Next up, index. Okay, very low cap coin here. Short-term parabola on the 4-hour. Shit, alright. Yeah, you have yourself a trend pivot here. It's respected. I'd set buys down to like 250 mark. And then you just bet on that swing high of the respected 3.2 standard deviation of 36. Wow, that's quite the trade. Let's actually set this up for you because it's pretty well respected. I'm surprised. Alright. Alright, so let's bet on 5% downside. This is pretty volatile, and then upside would be a new swing high at 40%. So 8 to 1 profit ratio. Actually make that maybe a little bit worse just to account for the low cap. Z3R Season 1. What up, man? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I usually don't try low caps, but this is in a very clear, well-defined trend. The pivot is very strong. Okay, but I totally forgot to look at 3D-Wave PM, and that's way noisier than I remember it looking. Mostly because I just didn't look at it at all. Never mind. No, this is much higher risk than I initially realized, because this is not a sustained... you're getting a re-expansion here based on this value, which is this noisy reading. And I'm less inclined to call this now. Sorry. Ave. Hey, BTC. Hello, Terjamda. Cool. So 4 hours actually heavily compressed. You have a swing low on the CLCP here of 61.29. Volatility is low. Let's check the daily. That is actually not bad. Wow, quite the trend here on the daily chart. Very impressive. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like really of a trend pivot reading here. We are seeing macro level retracement after the prior parabola, but because we don't have enough prior chart history, I can't define the pivot for you. Right, because it's maxing out here on the daily and the weekly just doesn't have enough data. However, what I can tell you, 4 hour is in this nice compressionary range. The swing low defined around 61.32. Alright? You can try to buy that. You can set a stop loss below this local low. Just be aware that because it is a neutral compressionary condition, it can break out either way at any time. So your range isn't that strong. Next up, RSR. Hey, if you guys in the chat here actually want me to look at any charts, please go ahead and ask. Take a look at anything you want. Next up, RSR. Okay, daily has very little history. 4 hours a tapered uptrend, which doesn't define pivots, which means you would have to use trend lines, and I'm not going to do that. 1 hour is compressed, but no implied direction. Yeah, sorry, nothing there. Next up, LTO. Okay, this should actually generate its own logs. No, because we are operating with an immediate re-expansion after mean reversion expiration. Okay. That makes things a little bit more difficult. 15-minute... Oh god, that does imply trend continuation, though. Oof. But no trend pivot, which is really frustrating, because I do like the look of this trend. Yeah. Yesterday would have been good. This pivot right here is very strong. Right, because you'll notice this is one strong clean plume. You have your initial impulse. it develops, we bounce directly on the pivot and see trend continuation. But now the pivot is tapered off, you have expansion on lower time frames. I don't think the entry's there anymore. Let's check out Litecoin. Okay. Alright, correlation coefficient with the USD pairing is very neutral. That's pretty bullish. On the daily here. True neutral, that's really good. Yeah, that means that this is a very independent price movement from Bitcoin. Typically what you want when trading a larger altcoin. Macro level downtrend though since 2019 with very little signs of breaking out. Almost looks like we're breaking support here with trend continuation. Yeah, that's pretty messy, I'm sorry. USD value, still on the 1 hour here. Like, you can look at the USD pairing and say, oh look, uptrend. But if you've had nothing but downtrend in the Bitcoin pairing, what's the point? Right, just hold Bitcoin instead of Litecoin. XVG, let's check it out. Okay. 4 hours of taper, bullish upward move. Tapering is not good for the tools we use. Well, actually, you know what? This read fine. Hold on. Right? Since this is our condition, which is this band here. We see mean inversion, right? And then condition expires on mean inversion and it tapers off below 0.7 here, and it sees trend continuation, right? It's not really tradable information, it's just logical information. All right, what else you guys got for me? Oh, I'm going to bed. 'Cause I'm tired. I'll look at your charts. Mark my word. Looks like that's it for today, folks. Been a pleasure. I'll talk to you all on Wednesday, okay? Ciao.